Hello again and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and it is the day after Christmas. So I hope that everybody had a really, really good Christmas. And we're going to do a little bit of kind of a reflection video as well as tie it into preparedness. Now, I'll keep all the personal stuff to the end, so that way, if you want to hear some of that, then stay tuned. But I want to get the message out first. And so, when we talk about Christmas, people tend to celebrate it in many different ways. Uh, First one being the most obvious, which is consumerism. People spend a lot of money and time buying presents and wrapping paper and decorations and time travel to hit all these different stores and all this other stuff. And, if that makes you happy, as long as you're doing it responsibly to where you're not going into massive debt and hurting yourself in the long run and things like that. That's your prerogative. That's the way you celebrate it. That's for you. The second one, which is religiously, whether that is more in a Christian sense of the birth of Jesus and then going into that aspect, or the Jewish holiday, going through and doing all the different religious traditional things there, and all the other different ones as well. Has a religious aspect that people choose to celebrate. And then you have the kind of third one, which is kind of the one that I want to talk about. Now, whether you are atheist, maybe you don't believe in religion, period, which is, again, that's up to you. Maybe you are one that doesn't believe in consumerism and things like that. Hey, I get it, fully get it. Well, that leads us back to kind of the saying of it doesn't matter what's under the tree, but who's around it. And that leads into two different things. First one, which is who's missing, who is there around the tree in spirit. And it's a reflection of going back to those that we may have lost in that year or in previous years. Maybe it's grandma, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a sibling, whatever. Uh, but we are human. We're not immortal. Death comes for us all, and there will come a day that even you and me are not going to be there physically around the tree with loved ones and those that we care about. And so, it's a reflection of those that we have lost. Uh, but it also comes back into the other side of the coin of who is around the Christmas tree, or who is around that we're celebrating this time, however you celebrate it. Is it just family? Is just immediate family? Is it friends? Is it neighbors? Is it anybody of those? Or is there people missing that is still alive? Why are they not there? Is it politics got in the way? Is it something uh, that should be forgiven or overlooked or whatnot? Because again, we're not promised tomorrow. It is one of those that you get one life, and you get a very finite amount of time on this earth, and what you choose to do with it comes down to how life is going to go for you. Are you the one holding a grudge or something along those lines? And again, there's only so much you can do. You can only extend that olive branch, and the other person has to accept it's a two-way street. I get it. And then there may be a perfectly good reason to cut somebody out. And trust me, I am all for that as well. There's unforgivable things. There's other aspects to where no, you're not welcome here. But I want to kind of shift into preparedness. And let's say that we have that long term, really bad SHTF situation. The balloon has gone up and various things have happened. We're probably not going to, as we all fight for survival and struggle, going to be doing any sort of decorating a tree or wrapping of gifts. There's no stores to go buy things unless you have some extra things and you're crafty to maybe make some things. But then again, Uh, Depending on how bad things are, your time was probably better spent on survival than you know, taking supplies that might be needed for survival to gift. Maybe it's giving bartering items. Maybe you have a surplus of something, and maybe everybody wants to carry on the tradition, and maybe wrap a canned food, or wrap some supplies or something, and carry on the tradition, which would be great. I'm one of the ones that, if you're new here, I very highly preach from the tallest point that I can that humanity must survive. If there's no humanity, then there's no point. It has to be about people. It has to be about holding on to traditions, to values. Uh, and it's okay to make new ones. It's okay to let some go, and to create some new ones, but we need to be able to come together. And you have a kind of a choice now of who is it when that event happens. Instead of a Christmas tree, maybe it's a fire, or whatever else. Um, who's going to be around that with you? Who are you choosing to bring in and sit around that fire? And maybe the new tradition is to remember some of those that are no longer with us. Maybe it's spinning stories about good times and great memories. Maybe it's just something to have some laughs, and just make up some stories, and maybe do some games or something along those lines. Just take your mind off of everything for just a day. There's a lot that we can go into, and so I want to really stress we're in a relatively peaceful time right now. And so when we talk about MAGs, a mutual assistance group, who is it? Who is going to share that with you? When we go into it, maybe we're not going to call it Christmas no more. Maybe we'll call it something else, and we're all just going to put a fire out in the yard or whatever, and we're all going to pull something up and sit down and do some reflection, do some storytelling. Maybe somebody's musical, and maybe there's a song or two, and it's just a day off for everybody. Whatever happens, whatever it's going to be, and hopefully it never happens. Just throwing that out there. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Hopefully, uh, for thousands of years, we never have to worry about this. But just in case, who's going to sit around that with you? Are you going to be one of the ones that everybody that is around there is by choice? Everybody that is around there that is participating in this, are they there because of what you are doing today? Are you setting this up to where the people that is going to survive and ride out the end of the apocalypse with you, are they there? Are they fully vetted? Are they invested in it? Do they have the same shared values and all this, to where you fully trust them? Is that who it is? Or is it going to be people that are forced in? Uh, you know, you didn't prepare, and you are going to do it by yourself, or you and maybe your husband or wife or something like that. It's just one or two of you, and you realize this is too much. Many hands make light work. It's going to be easier to have a bunch of people, and you join another group, and then this other people join, and this other people join, and now you're throwing all these people together, and nobody's vetted. Nobody knows anything about anybody. uh, I would rather pick my group now. It's not to say that you can't bring people in. I fully believe that you can do that. You just have to be much, much more careful. Uh, but it's one of those that you can do what you can now to prepare, and you can do what you can now to mitigate the risk. The more that you can vet people, the more that you can train with people, the more that you guys can practice together. You can find your holes, you can do your best to fill them. You can bring in more people, you can expand, you can do really, really great things. The more time that you have, and the more that you invest, and the more that you put into this, hopefully the better the return. You have a better chance if you start today versus if you just go, if it ever happens, I'll deal with it then. It's not a good outcome to do. Okay, it's not a way to think that on this. So use this time. Go back into a reflection point, be thankful for what you have. I fully, and this is kind of where I'm going to go into the more personal aspect, I fully think that Christmas is a reflection point. It's at the end of the year. You kind of get to reflect on your year a little bit. You get to be thankful for what you have. You get to get together with friends and family and loved ones and whatnot. It's a time away from everything. Yes, there is a little bit of gift giving and things like that. It's really good to carry on and pass that value, especially to kids. I know it's exciting to rip open wrapping paper and do all that. And so what we're trying to teach a little rural, it's all about giving. Yes, when you give, it's exciting to get something in return, but that's not always the case. And yes, when we talk about survival, the whole point of a mutual assistance group is that you are mutually benefiting each other. If somebody is taking and not giving something back, why are they there, right? It's just another mouth to feed. It's more labor and work, and they're not putting anything back into the pot. And so we're working really hard to teach that it's really good to give out. You're not always going to get anything back, and that's fine. The reward is giving to somebody and watching them smile and enjoy the moment. Because if everybody believes that, then I give, I get. You get what you give out. You reap what you sow. But my Christmas was really, really good. I got quite a few things that are really enjoyable for me. Quite a few gift cards to the Pew Pew store, various shirts and different things like that. Um, Little World did end up giving me a gift that he went and now that he's in kindergarten, he did Secret Santa. So I had no idea what it was. This wasn't mom taking him out shopping for dad. Um, Nobody except him knew what was in that. And I opened up and it was a little mug that said dad. It's in red, white, and blue. And underneath of it, it says, is my hero. It was a little cry moment for me, and then I'll show it to you guys. It's kind of put up and cherished at the moment, but I'll share it with you guys maybe on the next live. But uh, Little Earl made out like a bandit. We did a thing with him. His school did a kind of a project where they were raising money for the local food pantry. Each dollar that you donated, you got a little index card and a candy cane, and it said Merry Christmas, and then he would sign his name. And your job was to go around and put it on doorsteps. It wasn't to give it to people in person, it was to put it on their doorsteps so that way they got a little bit of Christmas spirit by surprise. And he was surprised back because for the next couple of days, there would be random gift for him on the front porch. So he was really excited about that. And it was a good teaching moment because I think he passed out 10 and he got about 4 back. So, it's another one of those you give out, you may not get 10 back, but chances are you're going to get something. And it was nice for him to kind of get that life lessons and whatnot. Mrs. Rural came out like a bandit. She got a ton of things, a lot of things scratched off her list that she really, really wanted. um, Absolutely, absolutely great. Everybody's happy. Met up with my family and her family, and everybody's doing well. Everybody seems to be happy. Everybody seemed to like the gifts. There's a lot of stories and laughing and joking and things like that. It was very refreshing. Really, really good times. So, but I hope that each of you got to spend time with friends and family and loved ones. I hope each of you was blessed in some form or fashion, either by material things. Maybe you got some new prepping stuff, maybe some gift cards or money that can go towards preps. Or maybe it was just the experience of seeing somebody that maybe they live a couple of states away and you don't really get to see them in person that much. Maybe you got to see them. Hopefully there was some memories created for you guys, and hopefully it was a good time. So with that, that's what I've got for you guys today. We will be doing a video on December 31st, which is going to be the 2024 prediction results, where we take a look at my predictions that I made for this year and we see how well I did with them. We will be doing a workshop Wednesday, and then there will be a video coming out on January 1st. That will be my predictions for 2025, as well as there's some other videos and everything that's going to come out in the meantime and afterwards into the new year. But that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you had a really good Christmas. But stay tuned because there's more information to come. And with that, remain united because we're all prepping in this together.